Hello and welcome! There are many news about Ravenfield's Steam release. Subscribe to be the first to see my future updates. First of all, the developer of Ravenfield announced that there will be 4 maps. Island, which we already know and love because it's beautiful and compact. Changes will include the addition of some machine gun emplacements and possibly others. Dust Bowl, which also looks great, but in Beta 5 is way too huge and can get boring. This one is getting a lot of changes. First of all, there are airfields with the new WYVERN-based planes and anti-air guns, 2 of which you can see here. One by the west airfield and one closer to the north by the checkpoint. At least one area also got a complete makeover and should prove for much more interesting battle and movement. The nearly maze-like rocks and trenches in this northwest section. Can't wait to walk around that area. Or just avoid it using a quad or fly over using a helicopter. Yes, so far all information indicates that helicopters will remain playable on Dust Bowl. But there will be also 2 new maps. One of them is Frozen Temple, which is a snow map that features various new structures. Most likely it will be possible to drive tanks in that level as well. Frozen Waterfalls, a snow-covered bridge and a kind of rock labyrinth maze garden, along with temple buildings, form the most impressionable scenes of that battlefield. I suspect inspiration for this might be temples in the Himalayas and winter in Sweden, because, you know, STEELRAVEN7 is from Sweden. Snart. The official description of Frozen Temple is mid and close quarters combat in a blizzard. Sounds like sniping might be unpleasant here. The other new map is called Archipelago, which indicates that there might be multiple islands involved. I'm guessing the Wake Island map of Battlefield 1942 might play an inspirational role, but I haven't played at all enough Battlefield to check out all the maps for other possible inspirations. Yet. Archipelago will feature the aircraft carrier, which I inspected intensively in a previous video. Check it out if you haven't yet. Perhaps there will be even multiple warships. We shall see. The official description of Archipelago is work in progress map focused on naval combat. I'm guessing the island's designs are far from complete based on that statement. By the way, the official description of the island map is mid-range combat on hilly terrain, and the official description of Dust Bowl is long-range desert combat, significantly reworked from demo. You know, this makes me wonder, what other changes were made to Dust Bowl? Perhaps there are southeastern or eastern sections of the map he has been hiding from us to make sure the Steam Early Access release still has an impact. Probably, right? So let's theoretically look forward to that. Although, of course, 2 new, completely new maps, that's pretty cool too. So maybe that's all. Maybe Johan-hassel has been showing us everything there's to see regarding the development of Dust Bowl. More maps will be added later, of course. Just look at this campaign selector. What do we have here? Perhaps some fisher village in the back and towers that look nearly sci-fi on the left. And never forget pumpkins and tractor, of course. The other big news is the introduction of alternative game modes. 3 game modes will be featured in the first Steam release. The first game mode is called Point Match. Hold flags and kill enemies to score, beat your enemy's score to win. This is the standard game mode that was present Beta 1 throughout Beta 5, and it will probably remain the same, except of course for improvements to the AI. The second game mode is called Spec Ops. Take out enemy outposts with only 1 allied squad. No respawning. Now this one sounds like awesome fun, and the closest to realistic shooter plot-based FPS gameplay. These games will most likely preferably be played at night, or at least they should be easier at night. Just try it out. Already in Beta 5, enemies react less active to you flying over them in a helicopter than during daytime. Hopefully there will be some way to tell your teammates not to run into their death, and so you can slowly snipe and silence shoot your way through all the red flags to take the whole map. I am sure that the no respawning rule applies both to you and the enemy. If we are lucky, there even will be an easy mode in which you are allowed to take over an ally if your player character dies but teammates are still alive. The third game mode is called Battalions. Its description is: both teams have a limited number of respawns. Drain your enemy's battalions to win. I think this description is somewhat unclear, but as far as I can tell, it's a modification of Point Match, in which you capture flags to increase your multiplier and to gain spawn points. In Battalions, instead of being able to win by score, you probably have to take all flags to win. This is a strategy that many of us already aimed for and achieved with hard work and persistence in the regular game mode in the free beta versions. But now it becomes less a matter of luck and endurance, because if a team controls only 2 flags, fewer soldiers of that team will be able to spawn, and even less if only 1 flag is being held. This should allow for faster and more realistic complete map takeover gameplay, even with challenging AI enabled. A final bit of news. A seriously creepy pose of a soldier merging with the stationary machine gun emplacement, you know, the one that we saw on Island and Dust Bowl screenshots and videos, here seen on a test map STEELRAVEN7 made for development purposes. But the real news in this image is that the air horn, a 3D model created by the developer inspired by April 1st, is actually implemented in Ravenfield as an item, as a weapon. Oh my. The big question now is, will the air horn be the secret weapon of Beta 6 aka Steam Early Access version 1? I went through Steel's tweets and could not yet identify the code word, which he so far shared or hinted at on Twitter for the other secret guns in Ravenfield. So at best I can tell that the information regarding this is incomplete. He did share this screenshot and claimed that the air horn actually damages enemies. Personally, I can't wait for some silly air horn assault. Oh, and I nearly forgot. STEELRAVEN7 got so bored by waiting for his game development studio being approved by government entities that he started playing around with shaders and stuff. At least that's my interpretation of things. And to sum up other changes, for the first Steam version, there are new vehicles including planes and a jeep that holds an attached machine gun. There are quote-unquote a bunch of new guns, one of which is the Sterling and the other one is the revolver, and maybe there's more. Machine gun emplacements and anti-air turrets are a thing, as we already inspected, and the in-game menu will allow changing graphic settings, I assume foliage, shaders, shadows and decals, like for example bullet holes and blood, and also controls will be fully rebindable, as johan-hassel puts it. Finally, after I recently made a joke Ravenfield release date press conference video, please enjoy the statement from STEELRAVEN7 himself. While I'm happy with the game's content for an early access release, I still need to finish up some administrative things before releasing it. I'm not sure exactly how long time this will take, so I cannot give you an exact release date yet, but I will do so as soon as possible. You should follow STEELRAVEN7 and also me, of course, on Twitter. Check the links in the description. Finally, I just want to show this last-minute fan art by Ignacio, titled Down with the Reds. Awesome. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao!